Okay, here is the 90LX that we're going to be taking the convertible top off of. Here's a look at the top. If you see, the edges are a darker blue, and the middle is like a green color. I've already started taking the door panels and things apart. Inside's not too bad. I put a battery on it and operated the top. Top works flawlessly. Lighting in here is probably not the best, but you get an idea. Okay, here are some cleaning products that we're going to use. We're going to see which one works the best. I showed these in a previous video. We've got some denatured alcohol and some good old-fashioned Dawn. So we're going to be trying these out, and whichever one works the best, that'll be what we'll use. And if none of them work, then we're back to the drawing board. Okay, this is a view from the back without the tarp on it. I went ahead and wet the top just using water and a rag and just wiping it down. I'm gonna have to change water and start fresh with some clean water. What's the first one on our list of the all-purpose cleaner? We're going to try the all-purpose cleaner first of the Ultra 1 on this area here. And I don't have a tripod or anything set up, so we're just going to have to, can't film the process, so we're just going to have to show the results after I clean it. Okay, we got the top ready for paint. I just covered the windows. Really don't care about the paint job on this car, since this car is going to be going to the junkyard, but I do want to salvage the windows out of this thing. So I really like how that top came out. I just wish it was a darker color, blue, to match my car better, but we're going to go with a coat of black and see how it turns out. So we got the first coat done. It's kind of tough doing it outside because of the wind. I had to get closer than what I would normally do if I was painting. And I had to just hold it closer and go faster. Sides I was able to get pretty good, but the top, the wind started picking up, so I'll pause for a second and let this dry, then we'll go back over it. Hopefully those streak marks from where I was too close, I could get those out with some slower, lighter coats. Okay, so after the second coat, it's starting to look a little bit better. I still could not get the top very well because the paint was starting to run out, so it was starting to spit. So I basically just went around the trim and the edge areas that I could get with the paint can straight up and down. I think I'm going to start a new paint can, then I'm going to start in the middle. I can still tell on these back quarters that when I'm too close, so I'm still experimenting with getting the right distance away for it to lay down an even coat. But with the exception of the very top, the back corners and the front starting to blend. So we're going to hit the top on this third coat maybe just the top on this third coat, until I have to have the can straight up and down again, and then I'll try to blend it into the top a little bit more. So after the third coat, it's starting to get a little bit darker. I mainly focused on the top on this pass, going a little bit slower and being a little bit farther away. Still got a couple of streak marks. I'm gonna switch my directions on this next pass, and instead of going from front to back, I'm gonna go from side to side. I'm gonna start at the top and then work my way down the back, the sides and the back look decent. It's not until you get all the way up on it you can tell, you know, the blue is still bleeding through just a little bit. And I'm gonna swap directions on that. But around the edges and the front, it looks fairly decent. Front looks real good in my opinion. Got a little bit of blue bleeding through right at the middle. I've got maybe a half can and another full can. Okay, so after the third and fourth coat, this is what it looks like. From a distance, it looks pretty good. But once you get closer to it, you can see the imperfections. I still have another can. I think it's gonna need it. Focus more on the top again. Looks better, but I could still see some streak marks and some blue trying to come through. So we'll give it, I'm getting about 2.5 coats per can. So we'll focus on the top some more. And if we need more, we'll go get it. But I think this is a pretty good job for the day. It actually looks like a black top. So now I really need to get those engine mods done so the thing will be so fast you wouldn't be able to tell what color top it's on. So I think I'm going to take a lunch break and then come back and hit it with the fourth and fifth coat. Possibly a sixth, depending on how much paint I have left. Yeah, I think we can actually turn this thing black. Okay, so the top is now black. Still uneven on the top. I'm out of paint, so that's all we're going to be able to do for today. But for the most part, looks decent. I didn't think it would be perfect. But for the most part, I'm happy with it. I think it's good enough for me to go ahead and put it on the car. I think when we get ready to put it on the car, I may hit it with a couple of more coats on the top, just to try to even it out a little bit, to get those streaks you see. From a distance, you can't tell, but when you're standing right beside it, it's obvious that, you know, it's uneven. But lessons I've learned on this project is you can't go fast, and when I come back to put the couple of coats on the top, I need to make something to block the crosswind, because that's why I couldn't get an even coat, because every time I get in a good pattern, a crosswind to come, and I either have to go closer to it or slow down or adjust the speed. So that's where you get your uneven coats from. So I think I'm gonna make a tent and put the tarps on the sides to block some of the crosswind. That way we can get some even coats on the top. But all in all, I think we're in good shape.